It's been a long time coming, but now it's finally here. Sui Dex and Sui Farm are finally ready, folks. And this is going to be something amazing. It's something that's never been done on the Sui chain before, and we are all really proud of what we've achieved. It's time to make big bucks. With Sui Trump as the mascot, how can we lose? This June all will be revealed. They laughed at us, they didn't believe, but the wait is over. And now it's showtime.
And now the man you've all been waiting for, Mr. Sui Trump.
Hey guys, welcome back to Crypto Mischief, where I talk about my favorite thing in the entire world, cryptocurrency. That's right. It's Monday morning here. Might be Sunday evening where you are. We are live right now. If you're in the live stream, then get into the comments. Let me know how you're doing. Today we're going to be talking about how to onboard to Sui Chain from a lot of different aspects. It's from a Medium article that I just finished and published. We're going to be talking about getting to Sui Chain from fiat, like dollars or euros or anything, yuan, right? Getting to Sui Chain from a centralized exchange, getting to Sui Chain from another chain, for example, Ethereum or Binance Smart Chain, AVAX, or even Solana. We're going to talk about different wallets that you can use to interact with Sui Chain. And then at the end, we're going to have a look at some of the more attractive coins and projects which are growing on the Sui Chain. So strap in. Hello, Abe. How you doing? Hope you're having a good day. What time is it for you? It's morning here. Got some coffee. Ready to go. Ready to go. So let's get to it. Before we get going with it, actually, so I just wanted to, I played a bit of a video there at the start. That's to, advertise the launch of our new Sui project, which will be launching very soon in June, and we're having the private raise for it on June 1st, which will be on Sui Chain with USDC, which is what the Medium article is aimed at, right? But for that, you need to make your own choices on your own investments. There are lots of things happening on Sui. I cover them all. And I think, Sui's been grabbing a lot of attention because, of course, if we look at the chart today, Bitcoin is at $105,000. We actually touched all-time high on one tiny candle. Looks like it's going to break through that today, so that's really exciting. Again, we thought it was over, but it's not. It's continuing. It could be a double top, like we saw in the last end of the bull run. So this could be the final collapse. Hopefully not. I don't know. I can't predict these things. Nobody can. I don't think so, though. Momentum's on our side now. And I think we're going to be rocketing to new price discovery for Bitcoin and all of these tokens, which are rocketing as well. And you might be holding some coins from the last cycle or even from this kind of bull market area, for example, layer twos. Yesterday, I spent a lot of time moving funds from chains such as ZK Sync, Mode. God, there were so many of these Blast as well, all these layer twos, which they just didn't pan out, did they? They don't have the volume. I had to actually eat some serious price slippage trying to get funds off of Mode. I had wrapped Bitcoin on Mode. I was trying to move out of there because I was trying to airdrop farm there. And I had to take a 10% haircut on my Bitcoin, getting it off Mode because they just don't have liquidity on Bitcoin. Come on. So how are they going to be a serious chain coming forward into this bull run if they don't have liquidity to trade Bitcoin back and forth? It's a joke. But yeah, my plan was, pull all that and buy some projects which I think are really bullish. And most of them, to be honest, are on Sui Chain. So let's get to it. If we look to DeFi Llama and, we come and see the all-time stats for what's going on with DeFi, right? Total value locked in DeFi is now $238 billion. Now, all-time high was just about to hit 300. So we're not there yet, right? And if we come and we see, Ethereum has most, Solana, Tron, Bitcoin, Binance Smart Chain, Base, Arbitrum, then Sui is here. So there's still a lot of upside potential for Sui. It's growing extremely fast. Its all-time high for TVL was $3.7 billion, currently sitting at 3.3. So you can see there from this chart, it is getting there. The TVL and stable coins moving into Sui is coming fast. 16% rise in stable coin market cap into Sui in the last 7 days. Why are stable coins important for Sui? It means that people are deploying stables in there to purchase projects inside of Sui. They're holding the stables to buy into projects. You can see the largest fees are paid with Cetus and in Bluefin, which is their perpetual DEX. And you can come down here and see all of the protocols which are currently thriving on Sui. Or, of course, on this channel, we talk about this one a lot. This is bubble.fun, where you can see projects which are pumping or dumping today in the market on Sui. And you can see all the kind of small alts and meme coins and, potential 10, 100x tokens all floating around here and going for it, right? We've talked about all of this, of course, in a lot, in great detail. But today we want to focus on getting ready for the SuiDex private raise, which I talked about. But also, if you're not interested in that, doesn't matter. I'm still going to show you how to get your funds onto Sui. And so you are ready to interact with other projects if you want to. That's your own choice, right? You make up what you want to do with your own money, right? So this is, of course, from SuiDex, which is our new DEX, which we're launching on Sui. So it's going to be educational, right? This is educational. It's not financial advice, okay? There are risks involved with moving funds always in crypto. I've had friends who have tried to move from one exchange to the other. They lost their ETH or they lost their Bitcoin. We've had people taking huge slippage on bridges as well because they didn't realize that the liquidity wasn't there. Like I was talking about with Mode, right? I had to do that. I saw it. I knew what was happening, but I still had to pay 10% slippage just to get my funds off there because it just looked like they were going to get locked there forever. Oh, depressing. So this is everything you need to know to prepare your wallet and funds for June 1st on Sui Chain. This is our Medium article. It's linked in the description. Please come along and give me some claps. I just put it up. So, give me some claps. What is SuiDex? SuiDex is going to be the yield engine of the Sui blockchain. It's a DEX and sustainable farming platform built for DeFi users, real DeFi users. It's a yield farm for passive income and a trading DEX on Sui. With sustainable Victory emissions, Victory will be our new coin. For, like PancakeSwap has Cake or Aerodrome has Aero, we will have Victory, right? Sui-based revenue for sharing Victory, sharing for Victory stakers. So if you stake your Victory, you will get paid in Sui and Victory from revenue share of the platform. And we have integrated token birds for our meme coin as well on this channel called Sui Trump, right? Sui Trump, which is our meme coin, which is doing swimmingly, sitting around about $400,000 market cap. Yeah, 388 today and primed. Look at that chart. Look at that chart, primed for breaking out. What's going to happen with SuiDex is we're going to buy and burn Sui Trump token with 40% of the fees. 40% of the fees are given to Victory stakers, right, from the yield farm fees. Also, we have DEX fees, which also add to the burning of Victory and revenue share for Victory stakers as well. It's a token ecosystem. It's fantastic. You can find out all the information you want at suidex.org, link in the description. The raise is on June 1st. For that, you're going to need USDC on Sui Chain, right? If you want to join the raise, you need to join the waiting list. You can join it on the website. Our private raise starts June 1st, giving early supporters the first opportunity to earn and to own and stake Victory token before it becomes tradable. The first round of emails, I've already sent them out to you guys. It was 200 registered users so far of our registered interested, right? And now we're up to about 260, I think. So we're almost about 300. I'll send out weekly emails just to get you guys ready so you're always on top of this. So do check your spam. If you didn't get your email, it will be there. The first round of emails are already gone out. If you applied recently, you'll be added to the next weekly email batch. This guide, let's get into the guide then. Shilling over, don't worry. This guide is all about one thing, getting funds on Sui Chain and preparing USDC, right? So first things first, you're going to need a private digital wallet, right? Abe says June 1st DEX goes live or just the private raise? Just the private raise. We are going private raise, audits released, and then we launch. We're not launching without an audit. That would be crazy. We have a couple partnerships that we want to announce, but they also said, we will not announce any partnership with you until you give us the audit. Of course, that's how things work. We need to be secure and safe. So we will have the raise, then the audit, then the launch. I want to launch in June. So that's my aim. Participate in to set up a wallet on Sui. You have a couple options, right? Depends on what kind of wallet you like, really, because they all kind of work the same. Be aware that you can use MetaMask on Sui Chain, but it's a bit buggy. I prefer to use Sui Focus wallets on Sui Chain. The reason is because Sui's technology and their code language is object-based. It's called Sui Move. I don't want to get too technical, but essentially it's completely different to how EVM works. It's more efficient, it's faster, it's cheaper to run, it's more scalable. But because of that, it cannot interact with an EVM wallet, right? You need a Sui-based wallet. So the most popular wallet is called Slush, right? So this is Slush here. We'll bring it up. So Slush used to be called Sui Wallet, and they just recently rebranded it to Slush. Slush is not bad. You can have it on your phone, but I can't get it in the UK, to be honest. I have to use Nightly in the UK. We'll check out that wallet too. But most people can get Slush on their phone, and it shows all your Sui coins, your NFTs. You can do lending on it, staking, all the kind of things with it. It's also fully integrated into Sui NS, which is a way for you to make your wallet a name instead of a number. So for example, I'm cryptomischief.sui on one of my wallets. I've got another one, suitrump.sui, which holds the marketing funds and treasury funds for SuiTrump. It's a good way of showing transparency to people in the community, so and they can also, see what you're buying, what you're selling, what your activity is. So it's a pretty simple app. It just works like MetaMask, right? This is going to be your on-chain wallet where you're going to be sending your funds at the end. I would suggest getting your wallet sorted first because it's usually one of the more complex things. Nightly Wallet is another wallet, which is pretty good as well. So Nightly, I use this on my phone and works exactly like Sui Wallet, to be honest. It's a wallet for Sui Chain. It is multi-chain. You can also use Solana, Aptos, Vara, Sonic EVMs, and Polkadot as well. So it's got a lot of benefits to it. Quite clean design, and I do think it's a good wallet. It's a good choice too. Really, you just have to go for the aesthetic that you like. Or if you have already got a Phantom wallet, there's a new addition to Phantom Wallet where you can actually use it with Sui, which is fascinating, right? So I'll just give you an example here. 19. If I can get this, I'm not sure if I can get the wallet. It won't show me the wallet though. Oh, well, that's a problem. Let me bring up my full screen. I can't bring up the screen. Oh well. Well, anyway, so basically you can now swap between Sui and Solana chain on the Phantom wallet, right? So if you come to Phantom, you can also choose to download their wallet, and you can get it on, again, desktop or on your phone. And yeah, so now you can actually go between Sui and Solana with your Phantom wallet. So if you are a Solana fan and you're looking at Sui as maybe somewhere to hedge on the the meteoric growth that we're seeing on Sui, you can now actually swap your funds immediately from Solana to Sui back and forth, which is very cool. And you can also plug into all of the apps through the wallet, right? Which is great too. So there's a plethora, I would say, of choice of wallets. I chose 3. There are more. If you're using another one, let me know. But it's a good one. OKX, yeah. So I actually use OKX as well for Sui. I use OKX for a lot of them. It's actually a really good wallet. I think it's my favorite one for my phone as well. You know me, I've got a lot of wallets. I've got a lot of VPNs. Got a lot of wallets. But I like to spread out my risk basically across all of these wallets, across all of these places. That's how I work. Abe, I have another question. Okay, that was my next question about partnership. I hope some Sui Accelerator projects will be joining us on SuiDex. Definitely. Actually, so Sui Accelerator, I'll be working with them very closely. We're just waiting for them to get their X account back because it was blocked because someone put in a complaint, which is unfortunate. But that's what happens. You get cabals in crypto and they try and bring things down, but they'll get it back. Yeah, you'll see some announcements with SuiDex and SuiTrump and Sui Accelerator soon. We also have a marketing campaign beginning on Tuesday or Wednesday with my favorite influencer on Sui Chain on X. And he is going to be pushing SuiTrump hard and the Raise hard coming up to it. And hopefully I have a couple partnership announcements as well to make about strategic advisors that I've been building for SuiDex. I've been having a couple meetings, long meetings with some very smart people who have been going through our docs and white paper and the whole process for how it works and giving some very, very good advice on how to communicate it. So we should be announcing some advisors soon too, and some protocols which we are going to be partnering with as well. So all good there. I'm pretty happy about how it's going, to be honest. So you got your wallet. Download and install your wallet of choice. Create a new wallet. Securely store your seed phrase. You're going to get a seed phrase for most of these wallets, right? Write it down, right? I've shown this before. It's very important. I like to keep all of my seed phrases in this giant book. This book is full of seed phrases. How many seed phrases does Richie have? Take a guess. That's a lot of seed phrases, right? I keep it in a book. I also have a couple of the more important ones in a safe because you never know what's going to happen. One time I dropped my phone, it fell in a puddle, and the phone got completely destroyed, right? The seed phrase was gone. I never got that back. And inside that wallet was two Axie Infinity NFTs. And at the time, they were worth like thousands of dollars. I never got them back. They're gone. They are bricked, basically. So always write down your seed phrase. Very important. You think, oh, I don't need it. I'll be fine. I look after things, but really, it's not true. Oh, things can go wrong. Write it down. It takes 2 minutes, and it could save you thousands of dollars. So once you're set up with that, make sure your wallet is connected to Sui mainnet, not DevNet. By standard, they go to Sui mainnet, so you shouldn't have to worry about that. And if you're using Slush, this is a pretty cool function. You can actually configure your Gmail with Slush, and you just use your Gmail login password to get into your Sui wallet, which means essentially you don't even need a seed phrase for that one. And it's good, but make sure that your Gmail account then has two-factor security, the authenticator apps, so that when you do, if someone finds out your Gmail password, then they would also be able to access your crypto funds, right? So you need to make sure that that's secure in that way, okay? So you've done that. You have your wallet. Congratulations. Now you need to get Sui, because, of course, Sui is the gas-paying token of Sui Chain. Now, soon you're not going to need Sui on Sui Chain. You're going to need any token, and the Sui will just be taken out of it as a gas payment. But for now, I don't think they've added that yet, but it is coming, which is another really bullish thing about Sui. They're really making it so easy to onboard to crypto. Imagine that. You just have USDC, and you can actually make swaps with that. It just takes some of the USDC out, uses that for gas payment. Beautiful. But for now, pretty sure you still need Sui to pay the gas. Very cheap. You're talking pennies, under pennies for transactions on Sui Chain. Because if you're going to join the raise, you're going to need to swap into USDC. If you're going to buy meme coins, you're going to need to use Sui for gas payment. If you're going to do anything on Sui, joining lending, borrowing, yield farming, anything, you're going to need Sui to pay the gas. So let's get some Sui. First option is we're going to be going from fiat, and we're going to go to a central exchange. Then we're going to send that central exchange Sui that you've bought to your new wallet, right? So you can buy Sui from major exchanges. It's listed on almost every exchange you can imagine. Binance, OKX, KuCoin, Coinbase, right? And then you can withdraw that Sui directly into your Sui wallet, so you have full 100% ownership of your funds. Now, you need to be sure of two things when you're doing this. Double check your wallet address always, and select the correct Sui network during withdrawal on the centralized exchange, right? Usually there's only Sui network, but you never know. There might be something random going on the day. So make sure you're sending to Sui, and make sure you have the correct wallet address. And never forget, right? Never, ever forget, not your keys, not your crypto. If you put funds onto a centralized exchange and then forget about them, you might come back in a couple of years and realize that they're totally missing because the central exchange has had some kind of exploit. Something's gone wrong. Look what happened to Coinbase 2 days ago, right? They got exploited, right? Even Coinbase can go down. So make sure that almost 100% of whatever you're holding on your central exchange is off. Put it into your wallet. If you want extra security, get a ledger or some kind of cold storage hardware wallet, right? Very important, right? If you want more information on that, I can make a video about that. But, again, to explain, I have ledgers everywhere. Where are my ledgers? There's a ledger. Sure, I've got another one. There's a ledger. This drawer is full of ledgers. But that's how it works, right? So you need to be secure in that. Very important, very important. Cannot overstate this. Right. So the difficult thing about Sui with centralized exchanges is that depending on where you're living, the different exchanges accept you to buy Sui. So if I said every exchange can do that, but depending on which country you live in, you might not be able to do it. For example, right? So I use my British passport to access Coinbase, right? As you can see, here I am on my Coinbase. I've got $100 in here. I do not leave funds in centralized exchanges. I put them in to sell crypto, or I put them in to buy crypto and put it into wallets, right? I use it as a middleman. I don't trust him. He's useful for that. That's it, right? So anyway, if I wanted to buy Sui, I would just come here. I could buy Sui, right? Get Sui here. It's listed in the UK, right? Then I can take Great British pounds. Oh, yes, from the empire. And I could pay with that. I can get up to 5,900 with this card. And then I would, take $1,000. And then I could buy the Sui, right, with my fiat and that's using that. For me, I usually for buying and selling crypto, I use a card called Revolut because it is also not so linked to what I'm doing in my personal life with taxes and everything. But I pay taxes, but you know what I mean. I just like to have that little gap of people not knowing what I'm doing, essentially, right? So anyway, and then I have the SUI. Once I have that, I would then come to my assets, and I would want to withdraw my assets out of Coinbase. So if I did have SUI in here, then I would click on the token to send and then copy my wallet address and send it there. And that's it done, right? That's how we do it. Now, if you are in a different area of the world, you will not be able to use Coinbase, depending on where you are. So for handy dandy helping people, I went through AI and talked in my Telegram group for Sui Trump to different people who are in different areas in the world, because Sui is an international coin. I pretty much covered everywhere in the world of importance. If I missed you, sorry, but I was getting really long. So for example, in the US, you can use Coinbase and Kraken, I believe, to get SUI, right? And they use ACH, debit card, and PayPal, and it's easy to access SUI with your bank card. In the European Union, you can also use Kraken, but they also use SEX.io, but I believe you cannot use Coinbase to buy SUI in Europe. In India, you can use Coinbase, but the biggest one, and South Asia as well, like Vietnam, Pakistan, then you can use Binance, and they use UPI, P2P bank and cards, and you can trade in your rupees to USDT and then get SUI. So I've covered pretty much every single area that I think is of note here. Of course, at the bottom, we do also have China, which, as you know, I live in China. And unfortunately, for mainland China, the only way to really get yourself SUI legally would be to use P2P, which is also not very legal, or DEXs, or head down to Hong Kong, where they're extremely crypto friendly, and there's many ways to do it in Hong Kong. I do have a couple friends. They went down to Hong Kong, set up their own Hong Kong bank accounts, and now they can buy crypto there, but they're not able really to do much inside of China. You can use OKX in China to buy crypto, but you're not able to sell it. And if you transfer it, you might get caught. So that sucks, but there we go. Okay, so you've managed to get your funds, but then you think, no, Richie, I'm already in crypto. I know all this. Come on. Like, you're talking to a DeFi pro. I'm a professional. I've been watching Crypto Mischief for 5 years. I know exactly how to use centralized exchanges. I want to bridge. I've got funds everywhere else. I want to move my funds into SUI. So when I'm putting funds into SUI, I only use one bridge. So I only mention one because I know that this one works very well. Other people have told me that other bridges such as Change Now work, but I've had problems with Change Now in the past. So I use RocketX to bridge from different chains to SUI, right? So let's have a look. I'm going to bring up old RocketX. So this is fast and it works really well. So if you do already have crypto sitting in your Binance Smart Chain, or if you have crypto sitting in different places, right, then you think, no, I want to send it to SUI. Maybe you have some on Ethereum or AVAX, right, or Sonic, and you're thinking, I want to send it through. Then you can usually use RocketX. Generally, I go from BNB chain. So for example, we take 0.1 BNB and I want to get SUI. It will then get me 16 SUI tokens. Now, I told you before that the EVM wallet, Ethereum virtual machine wallet, like BNB chain, is not compatible with the SUI wallet, right? So if you are going to try and put your EVM address down here and try send it, hopefully it will fail, but sometimes it won't fail. It will send through and then you will never see your crypto again. It's gone into the ether. It's fallen through the cracks. Bye-bye. And if you're sending a significant amount of money, that could really be annoying. Always with bridging, two things that are important. Number one, if you've not used the bridge before, send a tiny amount. You're going to pay a couple cents of a gas fee on Binance Smart Chain or on Arbitrum or whatever. And you will, of course, be able to check if it's arrived or not. Some of them, like here, they'll say the minimum amount is that, right? Which is fine. Then you go to minimum amount, 0.02. You send that, right, first, just to make sure it arrives. Then once you can confirm it works, then go for it, right? But yeah, so we're going to send the 0.1. How does it work? So we have 0.1 BNB. We're going to get 16 SUI. It asks for your SUI mainnet address. You cannot use SUI NS on RocketX. You need to use the real address for your wallet. So you find whatever wallet you're using, you just copy that and you paste it in here, right? So you come to edit, paste in your SUI address. the same one that you sent to, that you would have sent to from Sex to the wallet. You're going to use that same address here, right? That's my wallet. I then have a look through. You can choose which one you want, which one you save most with, which one's fastest. They're all pretty much the same. And then I just go to cross-chain swap. This swap may take around about 1 hour, 49 minutes. Then you think, okay, I'm in a hurry, or not. You say, it's fine. It's the cheapest. I will proceed, right? So different ways that this works. Sometimes you just do an interaction in your wallet and it gets sent. And sometimes it gives you this. So this is pretty good, actually. So most times it will just tell you to sign a transaction on your wallet and you're good, right? But in this case, it's asking me to send the funds to another wallet address. I need to deposit 0.1 BNB into this address. So then I come to my MetaMask and I go to BNB chain. So you can't see my wallet on there because it's screen sharing just the Brave browser. Basically, I'm in the wallet here. I've gone to BNB chain and I'm just going to go to send, and I'm sending the exact amount to the exact wallet address, right? So that's 0.1 BNB, right? And that sends over the funds to that wallet that they've given me, right? Once that arrives, you'll see that the tokens have arrived, then it will process, then it will finish, and then the SUI will arrive in your wallet, and you're good to go. You got your SUI, right? So this is my favorite bridge because it's never let me down. Nothing's ever gone missing. Nothing's ever been held up more than an hour, to be honest. Even when it says an hour and a half, usually it takes 10 minutes anyway. So this is a great bridge for sending funds over. We have CM Silver. He says, I had to use Phantom to get a little Aquashock. Good. Aquashock's a great project. I like Aquashock. Dunny the dev, very nice guy, working away on his token, building the community. And I think one day he's going to pop off big and we're going to get rewarded. But again, make your own mind on which projects you like. And we have Mezzi. Hey, Richie. Hey, Mezzi. How you doing? Right. So that's doing its thing. Let's get back to the article and we'll have a look at some other things. So Phantom's new feature, Solana to SUI. This is really cool. So I took a screenshot here of it because I knew that I wouldn't be able to share my wallet with StreamYard, right? So if you're already on Solana, Phantom Wallet now lets you swap Solana into SUI directly within the app. It's fast, easy, and great for Solana users moving to SUI. So all I did here is I went to the swap section of the Phantom app and I chose Solana. And then I went to receive, and it has an option where it says, do you want to receive on Solana chain or SUI chain? You just click SUI chain, then you choose the SUI coin you want to receive. And you can receive any verified token on the Phantom wallet, right? That's cool, right? And once you've done that, you're actually able to interact on SUI blockchain with the Phantom wallet as well. Like, this is a really huge, massive advancement because, as I showed you before, we had the DeFi Llama, right? And we know that Solana is the top 3 DEX in all of crypto, right? You know, its TVL is giant. It is 22 billion, right? We were looking at SUI and saying it's bullish, right? And SUI's sitting at 3 billion, right? So the more that Solana users start to see the green candles, the amazing projects that are launching on SUI and the potential for growth, you will hopefully start to see more people taking advantage of this new Phantom feature and moving some of their idle Solana holdings into the SUI chain. When this happens, of course, we're going to see 2 things. We're going to see a lot more people and investors getting active inside of SUI chain because Solana is the most active chain for socials, for sure. I mean, go on X and look at how many Solana spaces are running continuously and these kind of things. So that's good, but it does mean also there's going to be a lot of scammers and bad actors arriving on SUI chain as well. And what is currently a pretty nice ecosystem of builders and friendly people could get diluted with bad actors. So that's why I think it's important to make this video to show you how to do things properly and safely, right? So that you don't lose your funds. Final step, if you want to swap into USDC, I just left Cetus here. There are in Scotland, we say there are many ways to skin a cat. What does that mean? there are so many ways to swap SUI once you are on SUI, right? You can even do it inside of your wallets. So if you are using, for example, the Slush wallet, you can swap SUI inside Slush wallet, Nightly wallet, you can swap it inside Phantom. You don't even need to go to a centralized exchange anymore. You can just swap it there in your wallet, and it will aggregate through all the existing exchanges anyway and get your tokens done. If you want a more on-hand and more exploratory experience, then I say Cetus because it's the largest DEX in SUI. It is a mammoth DEX, actually. So if we come to see, we have here Cetus, $289 million locked and continually growing. It's gone up 84% in TVL in the last month. SUI is getting very big. So let's come to Cetus. I'll show you what it's going to look like and how it works. Okay, so you're coming here to Cetus and you'll see people have SUI and they want to just swap to USDC. The link I put will bring you directly to SUI to USDC pair, because of course crypto is crypto. If you type USDC into Cetus, you're going to get a lot of USDCs because there's so many of them, right? You want normal USDC, which is this one, USDC, I do believe. So this is the token you want, and this is the easiest way. So then you just take, for example, you took 16 SUI before, so you take 15 SUI, send it, you'll get $57. There you go, and now you have USDC, and that's how you swap. You can also swap on Bubble as well, which was the one we were looking at before, and they aggregate through different ones as well. Come to the top right, you go to swap, and then I don't know if they list USDC. Yeah, they do. Then you can swap the SUI into USDC as well. There you go. 16 USDC will get you $60.8, or when we were using Cetus, 16 USDC will get you $60.9. So of course there's a higher fee on Bubble because they must be taking a fee on top, which of course is how DEXs work. So you can look around, shop around, see which one gets you the best value for your trade as well. Right. And from there, you can start to buy all sorts of coins. So how about we end this stream? We've been going 30 minutes. I wanted this to be 35 minutes. So we got 4 minutes to talk about other projects on SUI that I'm excited about, right? Which is fun. Right. So the last thing I want to end on this is you can choose your amount and confirm the transaction. You'll be ready for the raise, right? By the way, when SUI DEX goes live, swaps like these will also be available on suidex.org. And, it's our aim, of course, to aggregate ourselves into all these wallets so that sometimes they will route through our DEX as well, which will pay revenue out to our Victory stakers. It's all about growing the DEX out, adding more liquidity, getting more listings, DEX screener listing for SUI DEX, getting into Phantom Wallet, getting into Slush Wallet, all these things, getting into different aggregators so that we, can earn great revenue for our stakers. So final steps for this article would be, join our ecosystem if you would like to. You be sure to complete these things. Visit suidex.org and register your interest. So you can register with SUI DEX for our raise on June 1st, even if you don't want to go in, but you want to get emails or you want to know about it. It's happening in 12 days and 13 hours. So you can join the waiting list there, top right. We click join waiting list, or down here, you can join the waiting list. Here you can click this. It will bring up our white paper where you can learn about how it's all going to work with SUI DEX, what's happening with it. It's just, it's our technical white paper. Later today, I'll be also releasing the technical docs, which will be thicker and more heavy on words. And you can just read about what we're going to be releasing and the token that you're going to be going into the private race for. Other than that, you can also follow us on X, which we're starting to grow our X account. We have a Telegram alpha group that's now 20% full. We're going to cap it at 1,000 members. We have 200 in there now, roughly. And also join the mascot meme coin, Sui Trump, who is the mascot of course, SUI DEX. Join that Telegram as well. Get ready. It's going to be an exciting raise, and those prepared early will be the first to earn. I put a disclaimer because the information I've provided here is accurate to the best of my SUI DEX research team's knowledge about where to use the used centralized exchanges. It's hard because I'm not in those countries, so I can't completely verify that by going to the country, getting a passport, checking out how to do all this, right? But from the best of my research and talking to a lot of other people, that's the best advice I could find. Content is for education and information. It's not financial advice. It's not legal advice. Cryptocurrency transactions carry significant risk. We know this, right? SUI DEX assumes no responsibility for any loss of funds resulting from reliance on this information. So again, use your instincts of safety. Like I said, bridging. Don't send all your funds at once, send a little bit. If you're using a centralized exchange, make sure you're using the correct links. Go to their X account and verify that it's actually the website address for that centralized exchange. Don't get phished, don't get scammed, be careful. Let's come to Bubble then and see what's going on. So if we come to Bubble and let's see what's hitting off on Sui. So we're going to go small caps first. We have a couple minutes to do this, right? So projects I would, vouch for on Sui Chain that I am holding and I'm pretty bullish on. So the first one I'm bullish on, and I'm bullish on Sui Trump, right? So we'll not talk about that. I've already talked about Sui Trump, but the meme coin I'm most bullish on for the summer would be Toilet Dust. This is a very active meme coin. If you go and check out their website, you can join their Telegram account, and they are really active. And this is usually a great sign. I remember being in Shiba Inu Telegram back in 2020, and it was just insane. The amount of action, the amount of reply guys just getting back and forth. You couldn't even read their Telegram because it was just like 10 million messages every day, right? And that's what you're going to find when you come across Toilet Dust's socials, how they run their X Spaces. The amount of people that turn up for this, the excitement that's coming with the project is good. They have good branding. It's a toilet. They're calling it Toilet Summer. Let's fucking flush is their their slogan, and currently $2.8 million market cap. If you look at, Solana meme coins, they're well up into the $100 million market caps. And there are coins on Sui Chain, which are also $100 million market caps. Things like Blob and Lofi, right? They're getting up there. They've been up there, right? So the potential for Toilet to, 50x from this and get into the $100 million market cap is pretty, I think is a good option for it. Same thing, you can come to Bubble, you can swap. So, I'm trying to get up to 50 million Toilet tokens. At the moment, I've got 9.3. So I generally just DCA daily to build up my bag, right? So that's how I'm approaching Toilet, because it's a meme coin. It's very choppy. It's going up and down a lot until one day you're going to look at it and it's just going to go up. And you're going to think, oh my God, it's gone up a lot. Winning, right? Best way sometimes for meme coins is either just drop your bag, join the community, talk away, tell other people about it, or DCA in, right? That's what I think. Other projects with pretty strong growth that I've been watching would be, let's see if I can catch them. Pepe on Sui, right? So a lot of people say, oh, it's just a Pepe coin. Like, well, there's millions of Pepe coins. Do you think, why would this one be better? I was in the spaces the last couple days ago with Sui Trump's account, and I walked into it. It was like a pitch your token on Sui, right? And I just went in, I didn't tell anyone was going in the space. I just went in to see what's going on, right? But for Pepe on Sui, what they did was they said, we're going in the space. We're going to pitch Pepe on Sui. And there were hundreds of Pepe on Sui holders basically pitching Pepe on Sui. It turned into like 45, 50 minutes of just speaker after speaker after speaker talking about this token and why this token is the best token on Sui Chain. And that's, coins, meme coins especially, are not like stocks. You can't just buy a meme coin and expect it to go up. It doesn't happen, right? You have to engage and tell and share and get into the community and make noise. That's how you buy meme coins. You can't just buy them and expect them to go up. It doesn't work like that. So with Pepe on Sui, what they've done really well is that they've trained all their holders to be avid Pepe on Sui fans. They are really going for it. So this is a great metric for me. The one thing is, of course, it's a Pepe coin, so there are a lot of them, so that could, of course, hold it back. But it is the largest market cap Pepe coin on Sui, so could work. And I hold this one. We do have, for Mezi, what other projects do you think could get a good amount of X's over the next week? I want to earn capital into Swarms. Yeah, Swarm Network is, of course, a license, which is on Sui Chain, but they're $1,000. Large investment, but I think will pay off great in the future. So other coins, you might see, the big ones. So Suimon, I remember investing in this initially, and then I kind of didn't, because then they got rugged, and then it was a community takeover. They have just released a game, which I haven't checked out yet, but that's why their chart is up. This week, they're up 60% on the week because they've released a game. So we'll see if it continues. Then it could be a good buy, but you have missed the pump there. Ballsy is a coin which is all about testicular cancer. research. So they work with charities to give, give some of their funds to researching testicular cancer. Mistin is a coin which might do well. It's being pushed by all of the big influencers on Sui chain. It's a Pokemon style coin. There are lots of them on Sui now because there's a link between the Sui Play device and Pokemon. I think it's a big rumor, but people are saying maybe one day Pokemon might be playable on Sui chain. That'd be insane. Basically, the company Parasol, which owns the right to Pokemon, also are under the Mistin Labs. Not this Mistin. Mistin Labs is actually the conglomerate above, a DeFi conglomerate above Sui, right? So you have Mistin, then you have Sui, you have Walrus, you have Deep. They're all under the Sui banner. Also, Slush Wallet is also officially a Sui product. So this is a meme coin. It's nothing to do with the actual people behind it, but they've chosen to copy their name and copy Pokemon. But it's being very heavily pushed by the cabal on Sui, basically. I will call them the cabal. And Blub. So I quite like this. We all know Blub, right? Blub is here. Blub's been doing really well. It's up 200% on the month. I had a concentrated liquidity pool from last Sui cycle, which I just closed, and it still has not come back into range. I was very happy because now it's all moved into Blub. So I think Blub can continue to get higher. It's only $15 million market cap. I think its all-time high was about 100 million plus probably for Blub. It was a huge coin. So they have a big following and they're starting to grow quite fast now again. And Mutant Blub, where did it go? It's basically a parody of Blub, but it's low cap, 75,000 market cap. You could see multiple X's on this one because it's just parodying Blub. And they have been doing some cross promotion as well, which is interesting. Blub has also been cross promoting with Toilet, which also is why I'm quite bullish on Toilet. Other ones, so this is a blue chip play, Walrus. Its market cap is $810 million, currently 64 cents, sorry. So this is slowly going up in price. I think pairing Walrus with Sui in a concentrated liquidity pool is a pretty good play. For example, if I come to Cetus, you can come here, earn pools, and I'm pretty sure I have one in this wallet. Let me look. Yeah, so here I have some Wall and Sui. It's earning 300% APR. This usually sits around about 500%. Got a very wide range on it too, and it's earning me Walrus and Sui coin in rewards, daily, which is nice. Free money essentially, right? Free money is good. So Walrus is probably my top pick for blue chips on the chain. Apart from that, if we get into smaller caps, if you're interested, I covered this token the other day, Shock. So AquaShock is currently 38,000 market cap, so it's a small cap, and I think it has potential for growth. It was launched on MovePump. It is a community coin in a sense, and AI based, using AI video to market and grow and connect with other coins on chain. It's an honest project, and I think through honesty, it might grow a pretty solid following because of community trust. Is my play on Shock there. Other ones, I mean, there's so many, right? There's anyone you want me to check out, you can let me know in the comments as well. I'll let you know what I think about it. But it's just my opinion on these things, and that's important to know. It's not nothing to do with you got to make up your own choice on which ones you like. Big gainers, we have any others? Right, this one's interesting. Sui Booster DAO. So this is a DAO and also a tool on Telegram that other coins can use to boost their volume. And they're using a DAO system to get the revenue from their volume boosting app, which other coins pay for, to pay back the Booster DAO holders. So it's a token ecosystem inside of Sui that's growing quite well, up 200% on the week. You're seeing quite solid growth on this, especially if we do see more volume coming into Sui chain. You'd see more revenue coming into Sui Booster, which would then reflect in the token price. And of course, if you're a DAO member with their NFT, then you'd get a reflection on that. Apart from that, I just want to show something off. Oh, forgot one actually. Forgot one. Let me go back. I'm I'm going to be covering this token this week. So maybe a heads up. I don't know if you want to know about it. The NFTs are called Sui heads, but the token that I'm going to be covering is the Chop token. So Chop is also an ecosystem on Sui where they have a DEX, they have an NFT collection, which is going to give revenue once they're minted out. They also have a token locking system for other projects to come and lock their tokens. So if you own your own token, you can lock them on Chop to show your community that you're not going to sell the tokens, essentially. So it's kind of a community hub for projects which are building up more and more influence inside of the Sui ecosystem. This guy, the dev of Chop, has done a live space every single day for the past 300 days or something like that. So he's going very well, right? You have the Chop token, and also if you wanted to try and hedge a bet that you want to get the revenue from the Chop token, you can buy a Sui Heads NFT on Tradeport. Tradeport is the best staking platform on NFT platform, right? And you can mint these right now for 110 Sui, which is expensive. It's like $300, $400. But once they're minted out, you will start to get revenue share from their already existing products, which is quite bullish. I still haven't bought one, but I'm tempted to because I want to support them. And also what they have already is creating revenue already. So it's a already existing business that's working. So they're not making the NFT and saying, I'm going to create the business and then give you revenue. They've created the business and are earning the revenue, and that now they're saying, do you want a share of the revenue? Which is a very honest and straightforward way to do it. But of course, to be honest, what's really funny about crypto is that if they'd have done it the other way around and said, we're going to create this amazing thing, probably the best thing that you've ever seen. You can't even fathom how amazing this is going to be. It's probably never been even conceived before. It's an AI GameFi RWA hub of revenue share from future-proof real mechanic technology. It's going to be amazing. And the NFT mint is only $400. Probably then they would have minted them out in 10 seconds. That's where we are sometimes with this space. So what I'm quite tempted, those like 50% minted out, and I'm sure once they mint out, the price will stay pretty strong on the floor because of their strong community. So I haven't got that, but I did buy an NFT the other day, and you know I like NFTs. So where do you see NFTs? Where's my NFT? My items, yeah. So I'm pretty happy about this NFT. So this is the top NFT collection on Sui, and they're not actually that expensive yet. So if you're thinking, I got into Phantom early, and then you got yourself like what were they called? Uman NFT on Phantom really early back in the last bull run, and they just went up massively in price. Or if, I'm not saying this is like Bored Ape level or CryptoPunk level, but these Doonies NFTs, I like this one. Nirvana t-shirt, cowboy hat, skull with tattoos on it, cigar, sunglasses. Yeah, it ticks all the boxes, right? So he's ranked, he's like halfway in ranking as well, which is fine. So I paid like 60 Sui for this or something like that. Floor at the moment is 56 Sui, which is just under $200 for one of these. And the reason I got one is because if you come to Tradeport, you can see that their volume and average sales are consistently the highest across the entire Sui chain for Doonies, right? Their supply is only 4,444. Only 7% are listed. Their all-time volume is 149,000 Sui token. And their daily volume is 3,000 Sui, which is very good. 45 sales each, on average every day. So they are doing pretty well, to be honest. And like I say, as more capital starts to influence the Sui, then definitely the highest volume, highest traded, and most I'm kind of rare also NFT collection on Sui might just pop, and that would be pretty fun as well. So I only have one. Apart from that, for NFTs, I don't think I have anything that special. Why am I buying NFTs? NFTs are dead, Richie. No one wants NFTs anymore. Stupid Richie, what are you doing? The reason, look at all these scam NFTs, man. You gotta be careful. I also have a Suicide Social Club one. Yeah, Suicide Social Club. This is an NFT collection, and I also got a symbiote for this, which is going to combine with my Suicide Social Club NFT to make a mutant, right? These are very cheap, like 2 or 3 Sui each for each one. I also have a toilet alpha pass because I've been invited to join the toilet Discord, Toilet Alpha Discord. So this is unlocked through the alpha pass. The floor for these is 235 Sui, and I'm not selling it. I can't wait to join this. I'm going to join that later today and see what's up inside that Discord. So these are very hard to come by. There are only 98 in existence. So that's cool. The Toilet Alpha Pass. And the design, of course, is great. It's a toilet on the back of a card. Love it. Love it. And of course, we were talking about Aquashock. Might as well just talk about Aquashock. So we do have the Shockies. Shockies are they coming up? No. Aquashock. Try Aquashock. Shock founder. This might be it. He's got a lot of. Oh no, this is one of his NFTs. So Aquashock also have a whole list of different NFTs which are running on the on Tradeport that you can find. Sure, it was Shockies though. Having a bit of trouble finding it today, but they're there. They're there. But we're live, so sometimes things go wrong. Okay, so that's pretty much everything covered. Yeah. So why NFTs? I'll just end with this. The difference between an NFT on Sui chain and an NFT on any other chain currently is that NFTs on Sui are instantly upgradable. That means, for example, if I took my Doonies NFT, the developer of Doonies could add to any of these attributes and statistics at any time. I could go into a game with this Doonies NFT and level it up, therefore increasing its value over time. They can upgrade with different traits. So I could essentially go into, some kind of platform that they've created for the Doonies contract and get a different set of eyes, a hat, or background, kind of things. You can take it into a 3D atmosphere, run around with it, and upgrade it while you're there. And it would reflect back into Tradeport or any other Sui marketplace with your current stats on what's going on with it. How long have you been playing with it? Where has it been, right? You could leave messages attached inside it. There's lots that can go on that can really bring the NFT space on Sui to the next level. You can't do this with EVM NFTs. They're set in stone, essentially. If I wanted to, for example, with the SEC Club, if I wanted to change the attributes on your NFT, I would have to remint and resend the NFT to you, and then you would have to burn that old NFT. With Doonies, with any Sui NFT, they're instantly upgradable with the move object level code. That's the difference. That's the kicker. And that's what people don't realize yet. That's why I think NFTs on Sui might just run. But we'll see. Mr. Big says, if I got an email, does that mean that I'm in the private sale? Yeah, it does. But what I'm going to do is before launch, 7 days before launch, I'm going to be sending the email that explains everything for the private sale. I don't really want to collect wallets. So there'll probably just be a box that you'll go to and then just click it, and then that'll be you whitelisted. Okay. I don't want to collect a database of everyone's wallet, this kind of thing. I want active participants to come into the private sale. So for that's why I'm doing it email based. I want to try and boost and get the highest engagement possible, which comes from people being there and waiting and thinking, okay, like I'm on board with this. I'm going to go for it. Right. So you'll get an email and it will explain everything to you. It's the TLDR on that. I like this one. It's got a donut on his head. Fantastic. Right, I'm going to stop looking at NFTs and I'm going to buy another one. Okay, I've been Crypto Mischief. Hope you enjoyed this catch up. I'll be chopping this video from the beginning part, just talking about the getting involved in Sui, so that people who don't want to watch an hour-long video can just watch a 15-minute video. Have a great day, and I'll see you later. As always, don't get wrecked.